Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. We got a Stellar suspension, but commercial bank working with Stellar. We'll tell you where. World Economic Forum, ladies and gentlemen, report came out just this past July. You're going to want to see it. It's on crypto and stable coins. And we got Christine Lagarde, Kristalina Georgieva from the IMF, managing director. The BIS calls for urgent crypto ban, contain, and regulate. And Ripple gets another central bank. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. Right now, $944 billion market cap for crypto. We're up by 1.8%, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Bitcoin right now, $18,955.35. It's up 12.6%. Ethereum up 12.7% at $14.0935. Tether market cap, they say, is $66.3 billion. XRP, 37 cents. We're up 9.8%, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, how about that? And how about this? The Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. I'm telling you right now, we will shut the door on this new deal. Make this investment in yourself. It's completely affordable. Get the online classes that you want to have. It's groups and lessons. You get weekly live streams, full access to private Telegram group. Get the annual subscription and get a VIP ticket to our live event. By the way, we have incredible speakers at the live event. We'll be releasing the name shortly here. And if you save on 1 month tuition, if you just get the annual subscription, don't mess around. We're shutting the door on that. This is the learning curve you need. The next Phoenix rising from the ashes is everybody in this group, because we're getting hip and getting educated very quickly here. Take a look here. First thing we're looking at here, Delaware judge has cleared 4 FTX units to be sold off, including Ledger X and Embed. We'll keep you up to date for more. Watch the video from this morning to find out what Sam Bankman-Fried himself is saying about all the events that led to the collapse. Look right here. I wanted to pull this up because, you know, I think that real wealth is made in times like this. Now, I'm not giving financial advice. This is just my digital perspectives. I want to do a comparison here of these things because we know Brad Garlinghouse does talk about comparing Ripple to Amazon books in the early days, and that's where he focuses on payments. And Brad Garlinghouse often compares Ripple to Amazon books, as we know Amazon pretty much has a monopoly on the market today, and they do more than just books. Imagine Amazon starting in books and Ripple starting with cross-border payments. Just wait, there's more to come. I completely agree with this, but it's just my digital perspectives, not yours, right? So here he uses the analogy of Apple. If 2001, Apple released its first version of the iPod, it cost $399. If you had invested $399 in Apple stock instead of buying the iPod, today your stock would be worth $207,871. Excuse me. Then you come down here. Crypto Shane reminds us, and if you held during all 3 stock splits in 2001 until now, that's a whopping 11.9 million plus. Well, now let's take a look at what Amazon's correlation would be. If you had invested $10,000 in Amazon at its IPO price in 1997, you would have purchased 555 shares, not including commission expenses or fractional shares. Taking into account Amazon's 4 stock splits, these 555 shares would have multiplied into 133,200 shares as of today. With Amazon's ending previous week at $123, and it's going off of this from a few years ago, right? Obviously. But it says here 10,000 investment would have been a little over 25 years ago, would now be worth $16.454 $196. That's what we're talking about. You know, these are the kind of gains and aggregate returns that I'm here for, but I'm trying to make sure that I invest in things that I don't think are meme coins or pump and dumps and things of that nature. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm investing in things that I believe have a real opportunity to become a real part of the framework of this digital asset space. And for me, XRP certainly is one of those investments for myself, not financial advice. Now let's take a look at this here. Not your keys, not your crypto. Ripple rivals Stellar operations temporarily suspended on a major Korean exchange known as Upbit. I'm just sharing this for everyone. It does appear when I read the article that this is simply a maintenance issue. So if there's more to be had about this or known about this, we will report on it. But I just wanted to let everybody know that that appears to be just a maintenance for the platform. So we'll see from there. Now, Tascom Bank, a major Ukraine commercial bank, is mulling over the use of blockchain technology following the completion of a pilot. The bank used the Stellar network in the pilot and noted several advantages. Well, let's take a look at what we got here. It says here, Ukraine has been increasingly turning to crypto after Russia invaded the nation. It talks about the benefit of the transparency, security, low transaction, and more as benefits. Look, we'll see where this goes, but we knew that Stellar was working with a Ukraine bank before the invasion happened. I think this just heightens the conversation as it does around the world. We know that Russia's building a new payment system as well, right? All of this, I believe, is leading to the paradigm shift. And I say it for years, right? Is the greatest financial paradigm shift in the history of mankind. And we're watching it happen all over the world, not just because of Russia and Ukraine. It just becomes a real pivot point and a keystone marker, I believe, of where the world is beginning to change. And here we see, this is a report from the not so popular World Economic Forum. You know I'm not a fan at all, but we do follow them because they have a lot of power. They have a lot of leaders that they have groomed from very young ages, and now they are in power. I think there's a gentleman in Canada, I'm not going to say his name because the algorithm might pick it up, but I'm not a fan. But nevertheless, let's look at what they're saying, right? And the first thing we're going to look at inside this World Economic Forum report is from Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank and also the former managing IMF director. All cryptocurrencies alleged to be currencies are not currencies at all. They are speculative assets, the valuation of which changes enormously over time. Moreover, they present themselves as currencies, which they are not. Now, she said that twice in the same statement. An asset is an asset, but should not claim it is a currency. It is not. That's 3 times in the same quote that she's telling you crypto isn't money, and that is exactly what Bitcoin tried to start out doing. I've said it before, cryptocurrencies is the worst name they could have put on these digital assets, to be perfectly honest. It just puts a bullseye and a target on their back. The nomenclature created from it has been horrible, and it has just caused problems from day one, and it's only getting bigger, ladies and gentlemen. You're about to see. When we look at stable coins, this is coming now from Kristalina Georgieva, managing director of the IMF currently. When we look at stable coins, this is the area where the big mess happens, she says. If a stable coin is backed with assets 1-to-1, it is stable. When it is not backed with assets, it is promised to deliver a 20% return. It's a pyramid. What happens to pyramids? They eventually fall to pieces. Look, this was said 6 months ago by the ECB president and the IMF director. They're coming for it. Don't believe it. It's still true. That's what we're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen. And look, all of this is aligning with the United States getting their self together and apparently going to tackle stablecoin legislation first. Look, the only trusted digital stablecoin you're going to need if it's up to the governments and central banks is going to be a CBDC, right? That's what's going on there. Hopefully, if we have any control to our country left for privacy and freedom in the United States, we will see the 2-tiered banking system remain in place and a private company held to a constitutional standard as well as regulatory standards to ensure that our money remains private and in our control and not in the control of the Fed on the backside of someone's digital wallet. That's where we're at here. And then we add this in. The ban the use of cryptocurrency on a country-by-country basis. Listen to this. This comes into the whole concern about retail investors getting shut out and the opportunity to invest in this tech space, and it really, really gets up my, I can't. One possible direction that can and has been taken already by some countries is to restrict or ban the use of cryptocurrencies. Mechanisms for banning crypto are nuanced and could include permutation of the following examples. Ban crypto for payments but still allow citizens to hold it, or decide that they only qualified investors can hold it. Well, that's accredited investors, right? That shuts out retail right there with their first suggestion. And then ban crypto mining, when they could easily take crypto mining because of the energy use, and it's obviously not healthy. So go to renewable sources. Why do you have to ban it altogether, right? Look, these are the people who are really tied in on the backside, who's making decisions for the rest of us in the world, whether we like that or not. Then there's the Bank of International Settlements. Shout out to Jesus Herrera for this one. And addressing the risk of crypto has become more urgent after a series of high-profile failures. Authorities have different options to address these risks, including a ban, containment, and full-fledged regulation. I don't know if you're getting the same narrative that I'm getting, but what I'm getting here is we will run this digital asset space, ladies and gentlemen, whether we like it or not. That's what's coming here. I can see that writing on the wall. Eliminate potential harm to the financial system by a ban. Prevent losses due to crypto services provider misconduct. But the cons are, could conflict with founding principles of society. Useful innovation would be lost or delayed, may be circumvented in practice. They understand you can't stop the tech, but then they talk about regulating it out of existence if they want to, right? Contain it, prevent crypto from damaging the real economy. That's the threat. They're scared of this technology. Avoid giving crypto a regulatory seal of approval. But the cons, fully effective firewall may not be feasible. Investor protections and market integrity risk with crypto remain. And this is where they get it all under control, ladies and gentlemen, because if they regulate it and they ensure the payment networks and value protocols they want you to be on and demonize the other, that's all it's going to take to push the crowd and the cattle, all of us like cattle, onto the protocols they want us to be on so there can be regulation. Otherwise, it's like being on the dark web. I've said it a million times, and it is exactly where they're taking this thing. Regulate, ensure consistency in regulating financial activities, allow responsible players to innovate in the regulated space. Again, hinting towards accredited investor or higher, right? Cons, challenge to map crypto and TradeFi activities and entities. Challenges for enforcement given the lack of the class reference point or a clear reference point in some cases in DeFi. Now, what I wanted to bring up on this particular note is this. I wanted to bring up the idea and the understanding here. Sorry, I gotta get this. This is not good. There we go. Got it. All right. So, what I wanted to bring up about this is that we often talk about how they can regulate this space and they can regulate some of the technology out of the use of existence, right? Not that it'll ever go away, but it just makes it like a dark web product, right? And one of the things I wanted to bring up about this is that we need to not only pay attention for legislation and regulation for crypto and stablecoins, but keep a very, very keen eye out for something that you don't hear talked about a lot, and it's RegTech. And the way to regulate these value protocols is to simply have the regulatory agencies have the ability to have regulatory technology like nodes on a network, which the SEC has one on the XRP ledger, right? Nodes on a network, and that regulatory technology could be set to scan for certain suspicious activity, just like a cop on a highway if you're speeding or swerving or what have you. This, I think, is going to be another key part of how we get the real clarity that we all want so bad. Now, before we get out of here, Edo Farina tells us here, and I don't know this, but I got to take his word for it here, and the people underneath the comments seem to agree, so it must be legit. So shout out to him for sharing this information. He says Ripple and the Central Bank of Uruguay working together, XRP taking over the financial system behind the scenes. I certainly believe it is just the tip of the iceberg of what we will come to learn over the coming months and years of the rollout of what they've been doing with central banks. I'm reminded as I see this, you can see Ripple Services right here. And anybody understands what's being said here, you could translate it for us as well. It does appear that people in the comments totally get what's being said. Take a listen and shout out to Edo for this.
Boom! This document just arrived into my hands and is from the Central Bank of Uruguay. Here you can see Superintendencia de Servicios Financieros. It's a contract involving the Central Bank of Uruguay and Ripple.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He says it's a contract that's working with Central Bank of Uruguay and Ripple, and that is pretty fantastic and a great way to leave it on a Friday. I hope all of you have a great weekend. Hit that like and subscribe, leave a comment below. Check out all the links underneath the description. Sign up for that Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. It is remarkable. I can brag on it because it's the people in it that I'm bragging on and all the information being shared in there. Don't mess around. We will shut the door again on this deal. Don't believe that. It's still true. Not financial advice, just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.